Raphael Meade is a compassionate carpenter publicly known for standing up to the bullies on Channel 4's show Eden. He's known as the fixer in the design industry. So who is the man who once had ambitions to be a ballet dancer and who now moonlights with martial arts and now finds himself rubbing shoulders with celebs while filming another new Channel 4 show, Key to a Fortune? Raphael, welcome to the Designerati podcast. You've got like a cheeky smile.
Have I?
Yeah, everything's going on, isn't it? Everything's going on in there. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. You?
Amazing. I'm so excited to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
You're quite tasty looking, aren't you?
Really?
I think so.
Like out of 10, what would you, like more than 5?
I'll give you a 10.
Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you.
All right. All too good about it.
You. We're talking about you. Icebreaker.
Right.
Tell me something that people wouldn't necessarily associate with you, or maybe you've brought in something today.
Yeah, I brought in a little book that I've been compiling for a number of years, and people that know me wouldn't know that I like English and poetry. What I like about poetry is the fluidity of it, getting words to rhyme and tell a story. But all of that came about because I used to be a lyrical bantan, as we used to say in the old days.
A lyrical bantan?
Yeah. A mic chanter. Chat the mic, you know. Just bust 2 lyrics.
Come on.
a tune.
Spit something out.
Off the top of my head. Now, I couldn't find my lyrics book because that's what I really wanted to bring instead of this document here. But what can I think of? All right, I've got something like... I'm just diving in the middle of a lyrics, right?
Yeah.
The chatbot Genesis a revelation. Next thing you do, you broke out in a one. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Raise your hand if you're tongue Christian. Adam and Eve was the first on the land. Them make a mess, now we in sufferation. And it just goes on and on and on.
And you just made that up?
Yeah, well, to the beat of the record, yeah. Well, I didn't just make it up just now. This was from years ago, way back in the day. I'm not one of them people that could put lyrics straight from my head, straight onto the scene, whatever we're doing.
What comes first, the music or the words?
The tune. If you hear a good tune and it sweet you, you know, the vibe touch you.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a tune now.
No, don't do that. No, you're thinking of rapping.
Who are you? Now this is beyond belief.
Okay, go on.
Right? People watching this, put in the comments how old you think.
How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am?
Right. 100% I thought 32, 34.
Thank you very much. So did my dentist.
But you're double that.
Yes,
That's not even possible.
I'm 61 next week.
Have you had cryotherapy?
But you know what it is? I'm married. I have to say, can't give her all the credit, my wife. Katina, love you, baby. But she's a beauty therapist and she is holistic in her procedure and she uses me as an experiment.
So you've not had surgery on your face?
No, man, no. No, it's all real. This is all me.
So non-surgical processes,
There you
that's
go.
what you cite
That's right.
for your youthful looks.
Yeah. Just happy all the time, that's what it is.
Are you?
I'm always happy.
Why?
Half full. Well,
Why?
you're here, so you might as well enjoy it, innit?
Please, spread the word.
Yeah. I wake up eager for what the day has ahead of me.
But that's a complete kind of oxymoron from where you came from.
Well, yeah, I had humble beginnings. My beginnings were a case of, there was a number of us. My dad doesn't feature much in my early days, although he was around every now and again. And, it was a case of, we were them kids that used to go nick milk off someone else's doorstep and things like that, You had to find a way to hustle. But
Entrepreneurial.
yeah, that's what it was, yeah. But, you find ways and you get around it. And I also got used to disappointment, When someone would make me a promise or an offer or something, I'd think, no, he's not going to fall. That's not going to happen. I got used to that because it was something that was said to me on a number of occasions. It didn't come through.
How did it feel in your heart, disappointment?
It used to hurt as a kid. But as I said, after a little while, I expected it to happen. But then as the years passed, once I got into my teenage years, I flipped it on its head.
How?
I honestly can't put my finger on what it was that made it happen, but if I was in a group of people, I'd always be the one to make everyone laugh. And I looked forward to that was my thing. I wasn't academic at school. I was very physical, sports, any sport, metalwork, woodwork, engineering, doesn't matter what it is, I could do it. I just found I was gifted with my hands. I am gifted with my hands, but I wasn't so much with my head. And I had a teacher who held me back as well. So these are all things I found out in later years. I didn't realize this till, I was an adult.
How many siblings did you have?
Back in the day, there was 4 of us. There's 9 of us now. 9.5. There's 9.5 of us. I say half because there's one that I don't like. I don't use that word very often, but we're not very friendly with each other. Let's just put it that way. So there's 9.5 of us.
9.5.
Yeah.
So you were raised by your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially a single parent.
Yes.
And economically, it wasn't, it was an
it was
environment
hard.
that was quite hard.
It was hard, but it was fun. Our house, we lived on a terraced road back in the day, right? And our house was the one that all the kids wanted to come to.
Why?
It was lively. What? Things was happening in our house.
What things?
Like, for example, let's say my mum had a friend, Jackie, that used to come around and bring her children. And they'd go shopping and lock us in the bedroom, right? But unbeknown to them, we punched a hole through the wall into the room next door. So when they was gone shopping, we'd go through the hole in the wall and terrorise the house, eat everything out of the cupboards, then go back upstairs, go back through the cupboard door, and they'd come home and think, what the hell's happened here?
No.
And we'd be
Nowadays, that would be called child abuse, locking your child in a room.
oh my God, I could
And
tell
you
about
found the
some things.
silver lining.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a silver lining in everything.
Yeah. Well, you have that ability.
Yeah.
Because when I researched you and spoke to people, Raph is the fixer.
That's right.
You are the man that can.
That's what my wife says. My wife gave me that title.
Did she?
Yeah.
You love your wife.
Yeah, do I have to say that to everyone? Yeah, I do. I love her. I love you, baby. Yeah.
That's so smooth. You are the art of a gentleman.
But do you know what? You just using that word. That word is a word that I wouldn't have used prior to.
What, love?
Yeah, prior to 2018. No, prior to 2017 when I was on that TV program.
Yeah.
But when I went on that TV program, it made me reevaluate my life.
So this is Eden.
Yeah, when I was on Eden, and prior to going on Eden, I was your average bod, carpenter. Got up, went to work, come home, miserable ass, etc. Well, it wasn't miserable, but that's what it felt like. And I went to Eden, and it really made me open my eyes as to what I've got at home.
What did you have at home?
Oh, I want for nothing. I want for if she could breathe for me, she would. That's how much I don't have to do anything. I don't want for anything. I just got a sweet life.
You've got gratitude for your woman.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah.
She drives me nuts, though.
Yeah. How did you meet her?
You do drive me nuts, but
How did you meet her?
how did I meet her? I was on when was this? This was after the recession, the 1990 recession. I got caught in a recession. I was changing the direction of my life. I got fed up being broke from the building trade because the building trade is shut down.
You're a carpenter by trade.
Yes, I'm a carpenter. But I'm glad you said carpenter, not chippy. Yes, I'm a carpenter.
Why?
Chippy. Chippy is such a, as far as I'm concerned, a derogatory term for someone that's supposed to be skilled. Chippies work on building sites. For example, if you tell a chippy to go to the back of his van and get out a particular tool, he'll open the van and it looks like a dump site. My van doesn't. My van is pleasant to look at. You could sleep, you could eat your dinner off the floor of my van. That's how tidy my van is.
So let's get it quite straight. You're a carpenter.
I'm a carpenter
Yeah.
and joiner.
I think you've got a chippy on your shoulder.
Just getting jokes in.
Right, I need to know about your career.
Yeah, go on.
Your career, right. So at school, you were talented with your hands.
Yes.
That's what came out.
Yes.
And we were talking about assumptions that people make, yeah? And one of the assumptions that people made about you was that from the outside, you didn't look like you could be somebody that was interested in the English language.
That's right.
What a ridiculous assumption. What does someone that's looking like they know about the English language look like?
Well, I suppose it's because of the way I speak.
Side parting, glasses. Well, have
Well,
you got a
yeah,
side
yeah.
parting?
No,
You haven't
no.
got any hair,
No,
have
no,
you?
all my hair's
No,
gone.
okay, so
I used to have a skiffle. See, a skiffle.
what's that?
A skiffle is when it's down low, but it just see the elements of hair.
But that still wasn't good enough for people. They couldn't associate that with you being a wordsmith.
No.
Right, okay. So people make all these assumptions. Now, you decided
Yeah.
you wanted to be a ballet dancer.
Oh, do you know what? To this day, if I could go back in time, I would be a ballet dancer. It's something about rhythm.
Is this a women of prayer, or could you actually do a plie?
What now? Oh no, I don't. My knees
Well,
wouldn't
then.
cope now.
But then.
Listen. Where dancing's concerned, let me give you a little example. I used to hang around with a guy named Richie. They used to call him the robot back.
Can we just stay on the topic of ballet dancers?
Now I'm getting there.
All right.
I used to hang around with Richie, and he's banging dancer. He's one of those dancers you put in a circle. Back in the day, we used to have circles. Everyone's standing around to watch and like, whoa, cheer who's the baddest dancer. And me and Richie, he was the one. He'd go and style it off, and then he'd step aside. Then I'd step in, and my thing was I could do what you could do, and I'd make it look funny. So I was a bit of a Mickey taker. So I'd go in a circle and I'd do so. You'd do something, then I'd do the same thing, something you did, and then I'd make it look funny.
Love that.
So that was our little thing. So yeah, but with the ballet, I really wanted to be a ballet dancer, but my mum was right. This is going back in the day when there was no such thing as political correctness. So I don't really want to say what my mum said about ballet dancers, but she said, "No, you can't be a ballet dancer, but not like that."
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So that was the dream dashed.
Yes, ruined.
How did that feel?
I was gutted, but again, as I said about disappointment, shrugged it off and got on with my life, didn't I?
Smart boy.
Yeah,
Smart man.
moving on.
And you moved to martial arts?
I got involved in martial arts because I was a skateboard nutcase. I damaged my right shoulder down South Bank speed tunnel back in the days when there was a speed tunnel. I came off. I shouldn't be here by rights. I was heading for a pillar and I dived to one side. I landed on my shoulder. I wrecked it. It was absolutely destroyed. And so I couldn't do. If I sneezed, my shoulder would dislocate. That's how bad it was.
Don't sneeze.
It's all right now.
Oh.
But yeah, the martial arts came about because again Richie came back into my life and said, "Raph,
Dancing Richie.
Dancing Richie. He was a martial artist as well, and he said, "I'm going to see this geezer with an afro. He's doing the martial arts. You coming?" And my mum said, "Go. You're getting on my nerves. You got because I was really hyper. Got too much energy. Go and burn some of that energy somewhere else, please. You're driving me crazy." So I went on a Wednesday. This was. I still remember. And I remember poking my head in through this door. In them days, they used to hire centres. I poked my head through and I watched this little black geezer at the front of a class, sitting in box splits, big afro. I thought, what's he going to do? And he stood up and he started firing some kicks in. His legs were to the sky. And I thought, oh, yes, I want to do that. I'm having some of that.
I can copy that and do it better.
Well, I joined in. And
did you?
Yeah, I've been doing it for like 40 years now.
And what's the top? Is it a black belt?
Yeah, I got a black belt.
Have you?
Second dan, yeah. I've never done any more than my second dan.
You do not mess around. Like, I feel with you do things to the best. Like, you look
I do whatever
impeccable.
To my best. It doesn't matter.
Beyond.
If I was sweeping the floor, I'm going to do it to my best. Every little nook and cranny.
Why?
Because I suppose I'm a perfectionist. I just like things.
Are you?
I am.
Is your tool shed really organised?
My tool shed is so organised. Just look on my Instagram, you see. I've got pictures on there. I like my tools in their place. Everything's where it should be.
What's the reason that you want things in place?
I don't like losing things. I get attached to things, and I've got a crap memory. So I forget, and I think, where did I put that? Oh, if only I'd left it there, I'd know where it is.
So have you got kids?
I've got 3 and 4 grandchildren.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, I forgot you're so old. That's
Easy,
amazing.
Tiger.
Well, look, I'm 49 3/4, so I can say that kindly. You do look 32, right?
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, with respect. So if one of your grandkids came into your studio and, like...
No, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do
No,
that?
they wouldn't do that.
Respect? Why wouldn't they do that?
Because, I don't know. I suppose it is some form of respect because They just know me. They just know. Do you know when
What
you get
do you
them?
do? What, like,
I
what,
don't know. I'm just me.
would you get
I
cross?
say, oi, where you going? And that's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is with me? I think I'm one of them people that if I say it, I mean it. For example, if I said to you, by accident, I'm going to poke you in your eye if you do that again.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by that. Do you understand what I mean?
You're going to poke me in my eye?
We're talking hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying, if I accidentally said,
Okay,
I'm just
yeah.
clarifying, if I accidentally said,
Yeah.
you do that again, I'm going to poke you in the eye.
Yeah.
And
You
then
have
went and did it.
integrity.
I'll do it. Yeah,
What
poke
you
in the-
say, you will do.
There you go. That's
You're
it.
a man of your word.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think my grandchildren know that.
They know that.
My children know that.
I want to come in your studio. I just literally, I just feel like I want to do that. I want to see Twitch. And then I want you to tell me you're going to poke me in the eye. Yeah, I can. You're a man of integrity. You say. I mean, you went on that show. It's widely publicised. You went on that show, Eden, and you actually walked off the show.
Yeah, with my friend Anton.
What went down?
Well, it was 23 individuals, some embedded crew, and of the 23, I would say 14 of them were a bunch of numpties. And I didn't like the way they treated my friend Anton. And we became friends because of the way they treated him. Because in the outside world, Anton and I would never have been friends. We are so different. You know that film, The Odd Couple? That's me and Anton.
How's he different from you?
If I'm up, he's down. If I'm left, he's right.
But you clearly have developed a love for him.
I love the geezer like he's my brother.
I wonder why.
I don't know. We just bonded. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But if he said to me, Raph, I'm going such and such next week, you come in. Provided I wasn't doing anything, I say, yeah, I'm coming. Let's go. I would trust him with that. I trust him in my life.
So technically on paper, what happened was you're working on a television show, which for most people, the assumption is that is a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Because your past life is a carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, it's still a skilled profession. Yeah. You've had to work years and years to hone your profession, but actually working on TV, in many people's minds, you're now A-list.
Okay.
Not in my mind.
All right.
I mean,
did you have to say that?
Sorry. No, you're amazing, whatever you do.
Yeah, yeah.
But for some people, they assume people on
yeah.
TV are like a different league. So yeah, you chose actually to honour your values and say no to bullying.
Yes.
And what you risked was actually continuing on that show.
I did, yes.
Did that not feel like a big risk?
No, because I always said, if he leaves, I'm leaving. And they did this thing where they apparently voted him out. I said, well, if Anton goes, I'm going. I'm leaving. And it just so happens that we did. I mean, there's a lot more to it than this, but it just so happens that he did leave. We both left, and then we just went around being nuisances all over the world.
I wonder why. What is inside of you that wants to advocate for the underdog?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. If you knew, what would it be?
I just like to know that were I in a situation that was beyond me, there would be someone there to help me. Because if I can help someone, I will, which is what I normally do. Because what I try to do is, with my Instagram, for example, I'd like to give hints and tips. I've learned the hard way. Let me show you how to do it without having to suffer the pain of doing it wrong. So if I can do that, and if I can give it to someone else, I'll do it. Free of charge, no problem. Do
you not want your kids to feel pain or have problems?
No, not really, no.
You want them to skip that step?
Yes. See, the thing is, with me, I never had anyone to guide me. Everything that I know, I've learned. I had to learn the hard way. First kitchen I ever put in, I made such a mess.
What did you do?
Oh, I can't remember now, but I dismissed it from my mind. It was that bad. I'm sorry, whoever it was.
But what did you learn from that experience?
I learned you better read the instructions, eh? Don't throw them away.
See that's what my question is about, right? Because for me, adversity is actually a gift.
Is it?
I feel it is.
Okay.
I feel it is because I feel it's an opportunity to learn from our being human, our messiness being a human.
But then if you've got someone who could save you a little bit of pain and agony,
That's your route, yeah?
yeah, if I can save someone headache, I'll do that. Listen, if you do that, this is what's going to happen. I can tell you because I've been there.
Yeah.
Don't do that, do this. So I try to show people alternatives. And it's the same thing with the carpentry, for example. When you look at something, most customers are just concerned with the finished product. You just want to know what it looks like in the end, right? You don't care how it's assembled. Well, some people don't.
I do, yeah.
Not everybody's, they want it traditional, tongue and groove and pegs and, not everyone's like that. Some people just want the finished product.
Top show.
Right. Some people, they're quite happy to just accept the finished product. And if I can just give you the finished product, fine. But if you want me to do it the traditional way and mortise and tenons and all of that malarkey, then you're going to have to pay for it because that's time consuming.
Yes.
So, and everything today is about now, quick, fast.
Is it fast carpentry?
Well, not for me, no. I take time. I'm selective in the customers I have because if people come and ask me for something, I'm very selective who I work for.
I can't believe you're 62.
61,
I'm
please.
sorry.
Aging me.
Really struggling
Calm
with
down.
that. Talk to me about carpentry. I mean,
I love carpentry.
how? Like, where did that come from? I'm sleeping in the morning. All right, I'm going to get into carpentry.
No. As far back as I remember, I've always been tinkering with something. If my mum bought me a Christmas present, I'd dismantle it because I want to know how it works. Then I'd reassemble it, or I'd make an addition to it and think, yeah, but if I put this on it would do that. So, here's an example. It's a good example.
Did you always have a workshop?
No, I didn't always have a work. Well, in a way I did because I'd work inside the house. There was always one room where all my tools were and, when are you going to tidy up there? Oh, calm down, dear. No, that would be my mum. But no, being serious, I've always been involved in something. Like when we were kids, we were making go-karts and we used to race up to Hackney Wick and back and things like that. So
they actually worked?
What do you mean? Of course they did. And it was about style. Who had the most stylish go-kart, so you got proper seats, not just an old crate. No, you got to have a proper seat. Then big wheels. Oh, pucker. Whoever had the best go-kart was the one.
What colour did you do yours?
Oh, I didn't paint the colours. No, we weren't into the painting.
The
mechanics of it.
The ergonomics of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I became the family fixer. When I was 10, I decorated my first house. I was 10 and I had to put wallpaper up and stuff. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but my granny said to me, Raphael, and put the wallpaper up and all that. So I did. I had a go, and then I found that I could do it. And my skill in life, I think, is being able to read things.
Instructions?
No, not the instructions. Don't you know, the first thing you do with instructions, they throw them away. Did you not know that?
I do.
Okay, well, there you go.
So read energy.
I could read a situation like, if I was going to hang wallpaper on that wall, I would know where to start. I don't know what it is. If I was going to hang a shelf on the wall, I just know, well, if I put that there, I'm going to have problems. I don't know what it is. It's something I see.
Wisdom. You've got a wisdom. You've got a carpentry wisdom inside of you.
That's what it must be, yeah.
A fixing.
Yeah, I'm a fixer, aren't I? Here's another thing about carpentry. Whenever I used to go around and give prospective clients, a quote, most of the time I would lose the quote. And the reason is because I would quote the job as it should be. I'd quote for everything, right? But then my quote would seem too high compared to anyone else. So Fred gets his quote taken in, he goes in and he makes a mess of the house. I'll get a phone call 3 months later, say, Raph, could you come around and have a look at this? And then you go around and you see the mess and they say, what do you think? What could you do? Knock it down? Start again? Oh, could you put it right? And you end up giving them the quote that you gave them originally, but now they've already wasted money on the one they had. Do you understand what I mean? So when I used to price, I would price based on what I can foresee. I know if I do that, that's going to happen. So I quote for everything. Whereas people generally, they quote, I'll chuck that in there, yeah, it's white, sweet.
Yeah, I feel that's like an unethical way, not your way.
Yeah.
The other way is an unethical way of operating because I'm in the building game as well. And when I have somebody that lowballs me on price, because I know what it should cost, when someone lowballs me, what I believe instinctively is actually you're going to hit me up during the job. In the door, yeah, you're going to get your foot in the door, sweetheart.
There you go.
That's not how I roll. I want full transparency.
There you go.
Yeah, because
we should have met years ago. Then it could have been working for you.
Yes. Tell me about carpentry.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of a traditional, finely honed, highly skilled profession. I mean, when I'm doing a development, for me, this is, look, I value all my team, but this is one of the most this is the stuff that you can see. Yeah. That everybody can see. Yeah. And I don't skimp on the finish. Yeah. The stuff that goes, obviously, the foundational stuff, the stuff that goes under the floors and the ceilings, you can't see that, but you can see carpentry. That's right. Yeah. How do you make things beautiful? What are some techniques?
It's, if we start with a client, it's about being able to go to a client, listening to what they want and telling them what they really mean. Because they'll say, I want this and I want that. And can you, and you make that a reality. You say, well, listen, that's not practical. What we could do is A, B, C, and then, you know.
Are you sketching or are you just...
I used to do sketches, but you know what? People used to keep the sketch and then give it the job to someone else. So I stopped doing that. So I sketch it in my head. So, you know, it's a case of you have to be happy with what's in my head. I know I'm not giving you what's in my head unless you give me some money for it.
What about materials? What's your favourite materials to work with?
Well, not MDF. Although, again, a lot of people like MDF because it's cheap. No, I like any hardwood. What I like about using a new hardwood is you don't know how, when you start machining it, you don't know how it's going to respond because they respond differently. Sometimes it splinters and throws things in your face and all sorts of stuff. So I like working with hardwoods.
For example?
Oak, Meranti, Iroko, ebony, ash. Also, one of my favourites is walnut. I love walnut because it looks like crushed cauliflower. The grain, it looks like you got cauliflower and I love that.
Love it. What's the future for wood with all the sustainability talk?
It's going to diminish, isn't it?
Have you found any alternatives?
Yeah, use old wood.
Lovely. Recycle.
Yeah, recycle everything. There's nothing that you need to destroy. I mean, like for example, you got Tudor buildings still standing today. Why do we need to?
Beautiful.
You know what I like about Tudor buildings? Someone asked me recently, what's my favourite period? And I told them it was Tudor. And the reason for that is because you could literally dismantle a Tudor period building, take the pegs out and the wedges and stuff, and reassemble it somewhere else. And it's not that I wouldn't live in a Tudor building because they're too up, higgledy-piggledy, up, down, around.
But the quality of the building.
Yeah. All that love and wattle and all of that malarkey.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I love all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a clever period, I think.
What's your favourite thing to build? And your favourite tool as well. I mean, that's.
I have a different favourite tool every week, depending on what I'm using. Last week it would have been my nail gun. In fact, no, it's my nail gun. It's not even a nail gun, it's a pin. Can I name the brand? Maybe not.
Yeah?
You sure?
Well, go on. If your chair explodes, then you can't.
No, I'm not naming the brand. It's favouritism. But
so a nail gun?
It's a pin gun, but it's battery, and it's banging. I love it. I absolutely love this now. I use it for everything.
So that is a good tool to have in your toolbox.
Oh, it's one that you got to have.
Yeah.
So back in the day, it was a case of got a toolbox, a level, and a saw. That's what you used to go to site with. And then it became toolbox, level, saw, cordless.
Yeah.
Then it became toolbox, level, saw, cordless, nail gun.
Nail gun.
But now it's a cordless. It's battery nail gun. It's not even the gas, the Paslos.
We're living, aren't we?
Oh,
we are living.
So sweet these days.
Yeah.
But
in the olden days, it was different, wasn't it?
Are you talking about me being in the olden days?
I'm old as well, don't worry, I'm with you. Yeah. I heard you saying that your mum brought you up yourself. And
my mum was hardcore back in the day.
What does that mean?
If she was a geezer, she'd have some. She'd be knocking people out left, right and centre. She didn't take no nonsense, my mum.
That's what's so funny. But she had to be.
Yeah.
She had to embody the male qualities
Yeah.
that maybe you needed, or
Yeah.
your 9.5 siblings needed.
Yeah, what I remember about my dad was going across the bookies and calling him, telling him his dinner was ready. And I'll tell you what he did once when I was a kid. He used to have this thing. Black men have got this thing where they say, yo, me I go make a circle. Huh? What that means is I'm going to go here, there. I'm going to go a few places and it's going to make a circle which will bring me back home. And he said I was bored. He was telling my mum that I was bored. Me just take the boy out, he looked bored. I wasn't, but still. So we went out and we went to one of his girlfriends. He's going, don't tell your mum, it's our secret. I said, all right. We got home and I went, Mum! I couldn't spill the beans fast enough.
And how did that affect your relationship with your dad?
Well, the relationship I have with my dad is not like the one that I have with my son. Me and my son are tight. Me and my dad are just like, he's just my sperm donor, isn't he? So, yeah. But, yeah, me and my son are tight.
What is the future of carpentry?
Carpentry is just going to keep progressing, and then we're going to get to a point where we won't use timber anymore. We'll just use other alternate materials. I mean, we're pretty close there now as it is, because a lot of the time I use stuff which is not exactly timber, but very close.
For example?
Name escapes me. There's some stuff that we use now on decking.
Composite timber.
There you go. Yeah, you knew you was testing me,
Dream
weren't you?
team.
Yeah, composite.
I have that. And it's really durable.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently. So I've been told.
Okay, yeah, it has something like a 30-year lifespan, whereas the wood decking, yeah. So tell me some kind of exciting carpentry designs that you're uncovering and unveiling.
Well, I'm just finishing doing a project right now, which is very similar to that wall behind you. I'm doing a decorative vanity unit, bathroom suite and door. He wanted it to match, and it. Again, you can see this on my Instagram if you go and have a look.
Yeah.
What I tend to do these days is I wait for customers to come in and say, Ref, what do you think? As I said, I'm a bit choosy who I do work for because I don't have to do every job that comes in. Not like the old days, you had to do everything. So I've got a sweet life right now. But design stuff, anything's possible.
In a kitchen,
Yes.
I have a shaker style at home.
Okay.
What's the groovy kitchen to have at the moment?
Everybody wants to have an island with a granite top and down, what do they call it? Up and over.
Yeah.
That's
one
in
piece.
fact, that's what we've got in my house as it goes.
Yeah. And what about the front of the cabinetry? Do they like it flush? I just did a development in
In
Chelsea.
m-
All
it-
flush.
Well, mine's
Soft
flush.
close. Yeah.
Mine's flush, no handles.
Yeah. What's old fashioned now? Mine's old fashioned. The shaker's old fashioned.
Shaker's old fashioned, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the white.
I have a white shaker.
No, not the white shaker. The white melamine with the handles on the top.
Yes.
You normally see them in council properties.
Yes.
It's about time the council stepped it up a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, they've had their day. If anything, what I would say is anything that's made of chipboard, no, there's no need for us to be using that anymore.
Yes.
Because it doesn't sustain it. It doesn't have any longevity.
Yes.
Once you get the slightest bit of water inside it, that's it.
Yes.
It's over.
Okay. This is a very sensitive subject for me.
Go on.
And it's banisters.
What's wrong with them?
Right. No, I love my banisters in my house.
Right.
Yeah. They are an oak, but it's been painted a mahogany.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And I would like to paint them white.
Right.
But my partner is absolutely not. You will not paint natural wood white. What's your view? Does natural wood stay? Well, he's painted it like a ginger colour.
It's a case of it depends on the decor of what else is happening.
Right.
But if I was putting it in and my intention was to paint it, I wouldn't use oak. I would use whatever. However, if it's already there, I don't know. It would burn me to paint over oak.
Yeah, so his decorators, notice I say his decorators, will not paint over because they have said it's sacrilege.
Yeah, I agree.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying not to, but...
So keep wood natural.
Yes.
Even if I don't like it. You would paint it, wouldn't you? You'd let me paint it, wouldn't you?
If we was married?
Yeah.
Well, I'd do anything for my missus, so yeah, I suppose I would.
Okay, good. I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to tell him Raphael said.
Don't send him round my house. I hope he's not a big strapping geezer.
He's not.
Okay, that's right then. Send him.
He's not. I recently interviewed Simon Hamilton. Do you know him?
No.
Interiors, yeah. We were talking about imposter syndrome. Yeah, he's a black man, and he was saying in the design industry he feels like he's part of the minority.
Right.
Yeah, it's very white male.
Yes.
Privilege.
Agree.
Do you?
Yes.
Comment.
Well, to go back a little bit, I have to say that when I first started in the carpentry world, and I took my redundancy from Haringey Council, decided to go out on my own, and I used to get a lot of rejection. People would call me, they see my ad, because I had a really stylish ad in the Thompson local, and they'd give me a call. I'd turn up at the house and they'd be like, "Oh, the initial, oh."
What, you're good looking?
I wish that's what it was. No, oh, it's a black man. Go in. I know I'm not going to get it because they've already seen I'm a black man. They've made their judgments. And then what I did was I employed a white guy who used to come with me. So then I'd be going around measuring up and they'd be talking to him. He's nothing to do with it. It's just with me. And but that's how I used to get the jobs, by having someone with me. So yeah, it was difficult back in the day.
Have you seen a change?
Yeah, I don't get that reaction except for every once in a blue moon. In fact, I haven't had that reaction for maybe 30 years. Yeah, but even so, it's still there. Like, for example, when we had the recession back in 1990, was it 1990? No, later than that. What was the next recession? I can't remember. Whenever the last recession was, I got caught in it. And I remember doing some work.
97.
Was it 97? Yeah. So I got caught in it and I was doing some work and... as well as everyone else, we were standing around waiting for a load to come in. But for whatever reason, the foreman decided that I was standing around, not everyone, just me. And I had to take a day off, right? I said, look, we've been doing 18-hour days. I need to take a day off to go in, do my paperwork in my office.
And you think that was because of your colour?
It was. He said to me, all right, take a day off. I took the day off. When I come in the next day, he goes, where was you yesterday? I said, I told you I had to take a day off. I said, well, we don't need you. I thought, all right, fair enough. Picked up my tools and just left. He distinctly took a dislike to me because I'm black. And the thing is about being black in the building trade, you build up a resilience, but you just automatically expect it to happen.
Well, it's a form of bullying, isn't it?
Well, learn to deal with it. You wake up in the mornings, you think to yourself, right, today's challenge is what we got to do. First, I'm a black man. That's number one on the list.
Is that what you wake up and think?
Yeah. And so it prepares you for whatever comes after. It's life, isn't it? That's how it goes. Rough and smooth.
And what's interesting is you have ended up developing a character, a personality that will, support people that you feel are being wrongly looked after.
Well, because someone's doing something wrong towards you doesn't mean you have to behave the same way. Why pass it on? I don't. That just doesn't follow for me.
What's that movie? I wish I could remember. It's so interesting, and it actually gives the perspective of the bully. And actually, the psychology behind bullies is actually they likely were bullied or had some tragedy or trauma in their home. And when you experience something really bad, you can actually go both ways. You can actually be really nice, like you are. Growing up with your mum, a single mum, or you can be a right twat.
For real, definitely. That's how it goes. I got bullied once when I was about 7, and my dad said to me, I'm cutting a long story short here. He said to me, if you ever come home and tell me you got bullied and don't do nothing about it, I'm going to beat you. And in my head, I'm thinking, hang about it, I'm going to get 2 lots of licks, and I'm the innocent party. I ain't having that. And it was a Friday because Friday was his drink and ganja day, playing his music in the corner. Anyway, the Monday came, I went to school, and I remember the boy. He changed my life. I went to school, and he was doing his usual. I thought, I ain't having this, mate. I tried my hardest to bite his finger off. He was trying to strangle me, and his little finger ended up in my mouth, and I tried. It's only because I didn't have the strength in my jaw. Why he still has a finger today. So
you look to defend yourself. What is your message? What you have done it ever since?
Ever since.
What is your message to bullies?
Don't bully. That's a really hard one to answer, because you can't tell what happens in a person's life and how it's going to affect them. So sometimes people are bullies and don't even know they're bullies.
Raphael, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. Thank you for sharing your beautiful gift with the world, your carpentry gift now, which you're translating onto TV and spreading your gift with the world.
It's been a pleasure.
If you have enjoyed today's podcast, do like and subscribe. I'm going to be back here every Monday, just like it says on my t-shirt, with more amazing guests on the Designerati podcast. See you then.